Most people think the Saturn return happens only once, but Saturn actually returns to its birth position around every 29 and a half years. And each return feels completely different because each one tests a different stage of life. The first Saturn return usually happens between age 27 and 30, the second one around 58 to 60, and the third around 87 to 90. Each one asks a different question. The first Saturn return asks who you are becoming. The second asks what have you built? And the third asks what truly mattered in the end. The first Saturn return is usually the hardest emotionally because it marks the end of youth psychologically. This is the phase where many people suddenly feel pressure about their career, relationships, money, marriage, identity, and direction in life. Before this period, people often feel they still have unlimited time. Mistakes seem temporary. Life feels flexible. Then Saturn arrives, and reality starts feeling more serious. This is why so many people during their late 20s experience breakups, career confusion, emotional burnout, loneliness, financial pressure, deep anxiety about the future, or sudden life changes. The first Saturn return removes unstable foundations. If a relationship is unhealthy, cracks begin showing. If a career path is false, it becomes difficult to continue pretending. If someone has been avoiding responsibility, life starts forcing maturity. It can feel painful because the old version of life begins collapsing, but hidden underneath all the pressure is transformation. The first Saturn return is trying to turn a person from emotional survival mode into conscious adulthood. Many people leave this phase more mature, disciplined, emotionally aware, and realistic than before. The second Saturn return, that comes around the late 50s, feels very different. This one is less about being someone and more about reviewing the life already lived. At this stage, people often begin asking, was all this effort worth it? Did I live truthfully? What did I sacrifice for success? What kind of relationships did I build? What remains meaningful now? The second Saturn return can bring major life revaluations. Children may have grown up. Careers may slow down or end. Retirement becomes real. Aging becomes visible. Some people feel deeply fulfilled during this phase because they built stable lives with meaning and emotional honesty. Others feel regret. Some realize they spent decades chasing things that no longer matter to them. Some feel emotionally disconnected despite external success. Some suddenly want freedom after years of responsibility. Others become more spiritual because they start thinking seriously about time, mortality, and inner peace. This phase often strips away distractions again. But unlike the first Saturn return, which pushes people into adulthood, the second pushes people toward wisdom. It asks, now that you have lived much of your life, what actually matters? And then comes the third Saturn return, around the late 80s, if someone reaches it. This one is very deep spiritually and emotionally. At this stage, Saturn is no longer focused on ambition, achievement, or proving oneself to the world. The person has usually already experienced success, failure, love, loss, aging, endings, and the passage of time itself. The third Saturn return becomes more about reflection. People often think about legacy, peace, forgiveness, family, unresolved emotions, spiritual understanding, and the meaning of their entire life journey. Some become calmer during this phase because they finally stop fighting life constantly. Others struggle if they spend their life avoiding emotional truth. Saturn always brings honesty eventually. By the third return, many people begin understanding something profound. Time was never truly the enemy. Unconscious living was. And this is what makes Saturn such a powerful planet in astrology. It does not simply create hardship, it creates awakening through time. Each Saturn return removes illusions appropriate for that age. The first removes youthful illusion. The second removes illusion about achievement and identity. The third removes illusion about control itself. And through every cycle, Saturn keeps asking the same deeper question: are you living a life that is truly yours, or one built from fear, avoidance, and habit? Because Saturn's goal is not to punish people, its goal is to slowly turn experience into wisdom.